6 months ago, I matched with a girl named Claire on a dating app. We talked every day for 3 weeks. Not just small talk. We talked about family, music, regrets, all the things you usually avoid with someone you barely know. We were supposed to meet twice, but she cancelled both times. Then I made a mistake. I searched her name outside the app. The first result was a local news article from 3 years earlier. Claire had disappeared after going on a first date. The photo in the article was the same woman I had been talking to. I should have blocked her. Instead, I asked her one question, and that's when things got worse. It started like any other match. Claire had 3 photos on her profile. All of them were slightly blurry, and in every one, she stood farther from the camera than you'd expect. Her bio said, "Looking for something real." I almost swiped past her. Then she messaged me first. "You look like someone who actually listens. That's rare." I laughed and replied, almost immediately. Looking back, that was probably the moment I should have stopped. At the time though, she just seemed shy. Nothing about her profile looked dangerous. If anything, it looked harmless. Seemed shy. The first week was completely normal. We talked about music, bad childhood memories, and stupid things people usually admit only after knowing each other for a while. She never sent voice messages and never agreed to a video call. She said she hated being on camera. I didn't think much of it. What did bother me was how much she remembered. I'd mentioned something once, days earlier, and she'd bring it up like we talked about it 10 times. Once, she reminded me about a song I'd said I listened to when I couldn't sleep. I had forgotten telling her. She hadn't. Around the 10th day, I asked Claire to meet me for coffee. She said yes, almost instantly. 2 hours later, she cancelled. She apologized and said something had come up. I told her it was fine. The following week, I tried again. Same thing. She agreed, then cancelled a few hours later. Both times, right after cancelling, she sent a long message explaining how much she enjoyed talking to me. It was almost like she was afraid I'd stop replying. I remember thinking that was strange. I also remember ignoring it. After that, I started noticing little things. Claire told me she worked mornings, but sometimes she'd answer my messages instantly at 4 in the morning. When I asked where she lived, the answer seemed to change. One week it was downtown. Another time she mentioned a neighborhood on the other side of town. I joked about her moving around so much. She laughed and said she did. Her photos bothered me too. I could never get a clear look at her face. I told myself it was just bad camera quality. There were enough normal explanations that I didn't feel stupid for believing them. That night, I couldn't sleep. I saved one of Claire's profile pictures and ran a reverse image search. Nothing came up the first 2 times. On the 3rd try, I got a result from an old local news site. The article was 3 years old. The headline read, "Local woman, 24, reported missing after leaving for a first date." I read it twice because my brain didn't want to accept what I was seeing. The woman's name was Claire Whitfield, 24 years old, missing for 3 years. I looked back at my phone. Her profile was still there, and she'd sent me a message less than 10 minutes earlier. I opened the article. Claire had matched with a man on a dating app 3 years earlier. She had gone to meet him at a roadside diner off Route 9. She never came home. Police searched the area, questioned the man she'd planned to meet, and eventually closed the case for lack of evidence. There was one photograph attached to the article. Claire was smiling at the camera. It was the clearest picture I'd ever seen of her. I compared it with her dating profile. Same eyes, same smile, same small mark beside her left eyebrow. I felt sick. Then I opened our chat and typed her full name. I wrote, "Is your name Claire Whitfield?" The typing indicator appeared almost immediately. 3 dots, then nothing. Then the dots came back. They stayed there for nearly 5 minutes. Finally, her reply appeared. "You weren't supposed to look." I didn't know what to say. A second message came through. "Please, just talk to me like before." I asked if this was some kind of joke. She didn't answer. I asked where she was. Nothing. Then the typing indicator appeared again. 3 dots, blinking slowly in the dark. For some reason, that was worse than getting an answer. I finally typed the question I had been avoiding. "Are you alive?" Her answer took longer this time. I don't know how to answer that anymore. Then another message. "I just know that talking to you is the only part of the day that still feels real." I stared at the screen. I wanted to believe someone was playing a sick joke on me. But if it was a joke, how did they know the things Claire knew? I asked where she was. This time she answered with a location. I recognized the address from the article. It was the same diner where Claire had gone on her last date. I told myself I was going. I told myself it was obviously a scam or somebody trying to mess with me. Then I found my car keys in my hand. By 11 that night, I was driving down Route 9 with the radio off. The location pin stayed open on my phone. The farther I drove, the fewer houses I saw. Eventually, even the streetlights disappeared. The diner was another 10 minutes ahead. I almost turned around. Almost. The diner looked exactly like it had been closed for years. Boards covered the windows. The sign above the entrance was rusted and hanging crooked. What bothered me was that the closed sign was moving slightly, even though the air outside was completely still. My phone buzzed. Claire had sent one last message. "I'm inside. The door is open. Please hurry." I sat there for maybe 30 seconds, trying to decide whether I was being an idiot. Then I got out of the car. The front door opened with almost no resistance. Inside, the place smelled like old cigarette smoke and something sweet I couldn't identify. Every booth was covered in dust. Chairs were stacked against the walls. It looked like nobody had been inside for oozed years. Then my flashlight hit something on the counter. A phone. Its screen was on. Our conversation was open on it. I stood there staring at the messages, trying to understand how that was possible. The phone wasn't connected to a charger. There was no signal. The screen should have been dead. Instead, the last message from Claire was waiting for me. "You came." Under the phone was a folded napkin. The ink looked fresh. It said, "Thank you for coming back." Behind the counter was a small office. The door was unlocked. Inside, a corkboard covered the entire wall. At first I thought it was old paperwork. Then I saw the photographs. Dozens of men, different ages, different faces. Some photos were printed. Others were screenshots from dating apps. Every group of evidence had the same 3 blurry pictures of Claire. Some conversations were only a few lines long. Others showed weeks of messages. I stood there, counting without realizing it. I wasn't the first man she'd talked to, and judging by the dates, I wasn't even close. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, careful. I turned around. Claire was standing in the doorway. She looked exactly like the woman in the article. Same face, same clothes from one of the older photographs. But something was wrong with her eyes. They didn't quite focus on me. They kept drifting toward the empty hallway behind my shoulder. I asked if she was Claire. She smiled, but it took her a second too long. "You came back," she said. I told her we'd never met before. Her smile disappeared. "Not you," she whispered. "Not this version of you. I'm sorry," she whispered. Her voice sounded strange, almost doubled, like another voice was just underneath it. I didn't want this. I asked what happened to her. She looked toward the corkboard. "I came here 3 years ago. I thought I was meeting someone. I never left." I asked who had done it. She shook her head. "It doesn't work like that." Then I heard voices coming from the hallway. quiet voices, men and women, all whispering at once. Claire looked at me and said, "I only keep talking because the silence is worse." I looked back at the corkboard. Some of the men had dates beside their photographs. A few were from years ago. One was dated only 6 months earlier. Another was from 3 weeks ago. Mine was already there. The photograph wasn't from tonight. It was a picture of me sitting at my desk, looking at Claire's profile. Someone had taken it from behind me. I turned toward the office door. Claire was still there, but she was crying now. "I tried to warn you," she thefts, "but once you answer, they know where you are." I didn't ask any more questions. I ran. I pushed past Claire and sprinted through the diner. I heard footsteps behind me, but I didn't turn around. The front door was still open. I reached my car, got inside, locked every door, and started the engine. As I pulled away, I looked in the rearview mirror. Claire was standing in the doorway. She wasn't chasing me, she was just watching. Then she lifted one hand and pointed toward the passenger seat beside me. I looked over. The seat was empty, but there was a wet handprint on the window. I deleted the dating app that night. Then I deleted every message, changed my number, and blocked every account connected to Claire. For almost a month, nothing happened. I started to believe the diner was the end of it. Maybe whatever was there couldn't leave. I wanted that to be true. 3 nights ago, I got a friend request on social media. The account had no posts, no friends, and no information, just 3 blurry photographs. Claire's photographs. I didn't accept the request. I didn't even open the profile. A minute later, I received a message anyway. The message came from an unknown number. "You left before I finished explaining." I didn't answer. Another message arrived. "There is room on the board for one more." I stared at those words for a long time. Then a final message appeared. "I'd rather it not be you, but I don't decide that part." I checked the window behind me. Nothing. I checked the hallway. Empty. Then I heard a notification sound from inside my apartment. Not my phone. It came from the bedroom. When I walked in, my old dating app was open on my laptop. A new profile was on the screen. Mine. I haven't gone back to the diner. I haven't opened the dating app again. But the profile is still there. Every few days, the pictures change. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's Claire. Sometimes it's a man I've never seen before. Yesterday, I noticed something I wish I hadn't. The profile had one new line in the bio, looking for something real. Under it was a location, Route 9, the old diner. So if you're using a dating app and someone seems a little too perfect, don't ignore the things that don't make sense. Search their name, meet in public, and if they refuse to meet but always know exactly what to say, don't keep replying. I did, and now someone is waiting for my next message.